Today I just want to tell you what scale you can use over 4 minor. Okay, so we playing in the key of C. Okay, and the 4 minor is F minor. Okay, so the scale that you use or can use is the Dorian mode. Okay, so that's the technical term. Technical term is Dorian mode. Okay, so if that makes sense to you, good. If it doesn't really matter what you call it. You know, Dorian mode is kind of just a label. You could have called it like the KFC scale if you wanted to, you know. And if that doesn't resonate with you, you can call it make a D scale. It doesn't really matter as long as you understand how it's structured and how it works. Okay, so essentially what it is, if I say that the F is Dorian, what it can mean is all you need to do is go down a whole step of whatever your 4 is. In our case, the whole step down, it would be E flat. And that's the major scale that you need to play. Okay, so if you look at the scale that I played, all these notes, it's actually the E flat major scale. It's all the same exact notes. So you can view it as a Dorian mode, or you can just look at it as a E flat major scale. So whatever key you're in, go to the 4 and go down a whole step. Or from the 1, go up a minor third. And that's the scale you kind of use over the 4 minor. So that's the scale. So, but we're going to take it a little bit further than that. What we're going to do is we're going to use chords within that scale. So we're going to use chords from the E flat major scale over the 4. Okay. So the first chord I want to show you is, okay, I want to show it in C so you can see what I mean, and then I'll go to E flat so you can hear what I'm actually doing. So in the key of C, sometimes when we go to the 4 and we want to make it sound kind of nice, and when I play it like give it like a sus sound, we play a 5 going to the 4, so it sounds something like this. Okay, so now we're doing the same thing out of E flat. Okay, so that's what we're using. That's one of the things we're going to use over the E flat. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up with little progressions in the key of E flat. And when we go to the 4 minor, we can use those progressions. Okay, the first one, like I said, is a 5 in the key of. So in the key of E flat, we're going to play a 5 over 4, which would have been the G over the F going to the 4. Okay, but we can do that in the key of E flat. So 5 is a B flat going to A flat. Okay, so what we're gonna do, left hand you have A flat, E flat, your right hand you have D, F. Okay, and you do like a grace note from the C to the D. Okay, but essentially this is the chord. We're just using a B flat over A flat. Okay, but we're taking out the B flat, playing grace note there, and then going down to essentially the A flat, but we're taking out the A flat as well, so we're going. But over this B flat, we're going to play grace note there. Okay, so that's from the G flat to the F. Okay, so how that sounds is. You kind of toggle between those two. Okay, so that's over the 4 minor. We can use that. The other thing we can use, remember, we're in the key of E flat. And E flat, you can play any kind of chord progression that you want to, and it should kind of work over the 4 minor. A common one that you might have heard is that where they go, you know, falling in love and songs like that. So that one gets used quite often. The 4 minor going to the B flat to the 1. Okay, and all that is in the key of E flat. That's a 2-5. So that's F minor to the B flat. But instead of going to the E flat, obviously we going to the C. Okay, so essentially over that 4 minor, we did a 2-5 in the key of E flat, and then went to the C. Okay, the one I showed you was a 4, or like a 5 over 4, and then back to the Okay, so another one I want to show you is a 6, 5 in the key of E flat. So if you look at the key of E flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a C minor, and the 5 is a B flat. Okay, so we're gonna play between those two chords. We're gonna go C minor, B flat, C minor, B flat, C minor, B flat, C minor. You can go as far as you want to. Okay, so that's essentially what we're doing, but I was doing it with two hands. So all that is really, it's different inversions of the same chord, of the same two chords rather, the C minor and the B flat. Okay, so now I'm gonna do it with two hands. So I'm starting on the C minor because that's where my melody was. Because on the 4, I play the 4 minor, and I wanted to keep that melody, so I played the C minor, B flat, C minor, B flat. That's the idea. Okay, so what I did was I combined the 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, whatever, with the first thing that I showed you, which was, okay, so I went, okay, and once I was here, I did the 6, 5, 5, 6, 5, 6, and on the 5, I did that. Okay, so the sound was, into the 1. Okay, so as you saw there, over the 4, once you hit that minor, you kind of just open the door to E flat major scale and all the chords and progressions in the key of E flat, which is literally almost anything. Okay, so anytime you play the 4 minor, go down a whole step and play any progression, and you can even mix progressions up. You can play 2, 5, and then you can go 2, 5, 6, 5, or whatever the case. Just mix and match it, and it should work. Okay, and if you remember the video I showed you last week, I did like that little thing where I said from the 4 you can go up a whole step and come back down. That's the same thing. All it is, it's a 2-3 progression in the key of E flat. Because the E flat is the 1, F minor is the 2, G minor is the 3. So that's all we did. We toggled between the 2 and the 3. Okay, so you could have went and then went to the 1, which is E flat, and then 5, 4, resolve back to the C. So any progression in the key of E flat works. Guys, I hope that made sense to you, and leave a comment, leave a like, and I'll see you again real soon. Thank you. God bless. Bye-bye.